Welcome to Jamaica.
Flights have been returning to Sangster International Airport, bringing it back to some level of normalcy, although the numbers are a far cry from what they used to be this time of year. One thing for certain we can surely count on seeing at Sangster International Airport this time around, based upon the predicaments we had a few weeks ago, is the presence of cargo aircraft which we are not normally used to seeing in Montego Bay. Kingston's Norman Manley International has always handled the bulk of freight and cargo into Jamaica, so it's no different this time around. Most of the big carriers, the heavy lifters, are heading to Kingston. You can see them on your various radar apps, or even from Montego Bay, sometimes flying at low altitude depending on where they're coming from. You can see the Hercules, you can see the Galaxies, you can see the 400 series from the Europeans. In this video we're focusing on what's happening at Sangster International Airport. Here you're watching the unloading of a cargo aircraft at Sangster International in Montego Bay, alongside other airlines which come in sometimes bringing in cargo and even passengers. The task of redistributing this vital aid to the most vulnerable places has been the era where the challenge has arisen and helicopters has come to the rescue. Helicopters have appeared from all directions, shapes, sizes, color, payload capacity. Even the biggest helicopter the US military has in operation has showed up in Jamaica. In today's video, we'll show you a little of the logistics behind the movement of personnel and supplies. On screen, you're looking at members of the Jamaica Defense Force unloading a Chinook helicopter's payload onto Jamaica Defense Force trucks, being assisted by active duty US military personnel who also crew the aircraft. These trucks will usually transfer these supplies to areas which are pretty close to the airport, which the roadways have been cleared at this point. This allows for the helicopters to focus on the areas which are farther away from the airport, some still not accessible by road, but it would also be too time consuming to take it by truck, so the helicopters work better in that kind of scenario. Just bear in mind, for those who don't know, there are no active runways on the southern side of the island which is able to accommodate these cargo aircraft, so this is why the transfer has to be done by these helicopters. And remember, that's the area, the southern side, southwestern side of the island, which has the most damage, devastation, where people need the aid most. Here's a shot of another Chinook helicopter en route to Bluefields in Westmoreland. This helicopter flight originated from the Trelawney Multipurpose Stadium and took along a crew of specialized personnel. Let me show you a video which contains the arrival of the helicopter, the boarding of the personnel, and the departure. Enjoy this one. These helicopters are coming from several locations and going to mainly the same destination. How do these air traffic controllers do this, keeping them apart and not flying into the path of each other? I used to lift my hat to these air traffic controllers, but now I have removed my hat totally. How do they maintain an image in their head of where every aircraft basically is and understands based upon the speed these aircraft are flying what time the other one has to get out the way before they can allow the other one to land? This is just, I can't understand how they do it, but I admire these people so much, and it's great to see them working and they rose to the occasion. We're in the middle of a disaster and these helicopters had to come to get the job done. Now, if we didn't have competent people who were capable of handling such a heavy load of air traffic, then we'd have another problem on our hand. So I want you, my listeners and my subscribers, I want you to lift your hat off. Take the time out to shout out to these air traffic controllers. These people are the backbone of Jamaica's aviation. Do believe me when I say it. Also, I must say my condolences to the loved ones of the 2 crew members who lost their life in that crash in Florida, which was en route to Jamaica, bringing aid to the island. I have captured quite a few of these aircraft of that size. I think the one that was involved in the incident was a Beach King. It's not uncommon to have aircraft of that size coming down to Jamaica delivering aid, especially from Florida, since the passage of Hurricane Melissa.
KTUR 46, we keep Bravo, ground. If you can take Alpha, that's fine. Alpha to the end, ground 12171 clear.
We'll get Alpha there. Also, right at our touchdown point, we hit a bird. If you want to send somebody out to take a look.
Point a bird, roger. Whiskey Charlie, did you copy? Your discretion, sir. Try to land the runway 07, estimated from the east at 10 knots. Time 51, racing Bravo and clear, contact ground 1217.
Sangster Tower, good morning. Warrior 94, we are 7 miles to the east inbound for the Jet Center ramp.
For Sangster Tower, roger. Proceed direct to the Jet Center. No traffic source execute at this time. QNH 1013 and wind estimated from the east at 10 knots.
To the Jet Center, so can I land Alpha, taxiway at Alpha 1?
For that is approved, Alpha east of Alpha 1 and Alpha 1 approved.
Warrior 94, roger ma'am, east of Alpha 1 on Alpha.
Decon. From the military ramp, you may proceed south of the tower. Start correction from the western ramp, you may proceed south for the military ramp. No problem. I have with the aircraft from Alpha. Victor arrived 13, next call 1217.
116, thank you. We'll be shutting down.
Right base for the jet center, 470.
So this time, one right base for the jet center, landing now. From present position, cleared a vertical south easterly. QNH 1013, wind estimated from the east at 10 knots.
Fort 70 Oscar formation, you use the intersection of Alpha 1 and the jet center. Thank you.
Goes around 15, next call 12. Under runway 07, wind estimated from the east 10 knots. QNH 1012. Wind at the station estimated 070 degrees, 10 knots, clear to land runway 07. 5 Mile Alpha Kilo, confirm present position. Down to 5 Mile Alpha Kilo, roger. Proceed on course to the western ramp. Change space souls and fuel on board.
2 souls on board and 30 minutes in the fuel limit.
Land your discretion remains south and clear of the airfield. Aircraft inbound 6 miles, 2,400 feet.
Royal with traffic information. 51.
1051, thanks for tow. Good morning, QNH 1012. Wind at station approximately 10 degrees. Correction, 070 degrees, 10 knots.
12, cover the wind. Copy and 51, we're proceeding to the military ramp.
1, proceed on course to the military ramp. Be advised, traffic, aircraft, Cessna, first citation 425, 700 feet, 3 miles final, 07. And helicopter proceeding on course to the western ramp, currently 500 feet.
Traffic will be looking and we're turning right now to join more of a right base for the military ramp. 51.
1 roger, land your discretion, report on the ground.
Shannon, call next on the ground, 51.
51, helicopter traffic now not a factor on the ground.
Okay, 51, thank you.
1, confirm on the ground. Call next, ground 121.7.